And while we are at it, let's see how our temperamental greenhouse is doing. This guy threw a fit the other week. Just was not happy, but now he's content. He's in his place. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use it for. Eventually something, but I had to get it off the patio. Nothing too crazy. I put some rock down in here. Temperature gauge, of course. It doesn't get as much sun. Ooh, what's that? Are those bees or something? They're flies. I have flies in here now? I have like four or five flies. Interesting. What can be in here that would cause flies to be trapped? So my plan for this is to really use it for winter time versus summer, because summer it gets so hot and nice here that it's not needed. But during the months where it's just a little bit crisp outside, this will come in handy. And what I want to do is the walls, mainly the north-facing wall and this wall, which does not get as much sun as, of course, the roof and, of course, this wall over here. But remember, as we know from my previous video with the greenhouse, is that when heat escapes, it goes on all directions, right? So they're equal opportunity escapees. So if you close off some of the walls that the heat will have trouble escaping from, and you keep the walls that get the heat coming in, then you could retain some of that heat more. And behind the greenhouse here, I will be putting in yet another palm, which is a great location for it. It'll get plenty of sunshine as it goes just above the greenhouse a little bit, and it will provide enough shade, because trachees, they do like a little bit of shade from time to time, of course. And as it will go above the fence line eventually, it'll pop out here and be a nice little view from the street. If you haven't seen it already, I got a hat in the mail that's quite fashionable to my liking. It was pretty awesome. I couldn't resist. I saw it for $8 online. $8. So these guys did just fine with our little short winter blast that we got. They always do. This palm, this thing just rocks this area. If 500 years ago, seeds from China, Trachycarpus fortunei seeds, were just dropped here in the western Oregon valleys, it would have spread like wildfire. And this would have been a native palm, 100%. Because it just does so well here. I don't know of many trachees that have died because of the winter weather or any other weather conditions here. Maybe some that were super unprotected during our very deep cold snaps that again, are rare. But even that, most of them survived. So very impressive palm still in my eyes. And I can't wait, by the way, to crossbreed these things with the Trachycarpus nova and have a faster growing palm with fortunei attributes. It's going to be awesome. Cannot wait. And by the way, this thing is going. It is going. We're getting rid of it. We are going to put a garden right there. So that's more news to come on that. And let's go look at the juvenile over here. I think he's put some growth on this winter. I really do. Looks bigger. But again, did just fine. Even during those cold nights that we had that were, again, rare for this area. We had low 20s, low mid 20s for a couple weeks there back in January. Our average low is around 35 for this area. This guy over here is rocking it. I tell you, he's in a great spot. Wind protection. Has a new neighbor, although hopefully they'll get along, because this greenhouse, I don't trust his temperamental ways. You saw the video. It's looking great. Remember those seeds I put right here? threw them into the ground. We'll see what happens, but I don't see any activity yet. And of course you wouldn't, it's winter time. And of course the last one we have here, well, the last one I'm gonna show you, so I have more around the property that I won't show you, but this one in the barrel, and I think Rich from the UK convinced me. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the ground, because why would I have a Trichocarpus fortunei in a pot when it can go in the ground? And eventually on this plat of concrete, I'm gonna have more palm trees of more exotic and tropical background. Therefore I can move them towards the house when there's cold snaps, but there's no reason to have a palm that does phenomenal here in the winter weather conditions to be in a pot. Even though it looks good in there, I can use this pot for another type of palm tree. All right, remember this gangly thing? This gangly, tall-looking palm tree that we got from the nursery? The reason why the petioles are so high is because it was competing against other palms for sunlight. So that's why I'm choosing this one to be planted back here, because it can reach some of that sun above the greenhouse until it can get some more height on the base. So this will be planted right here. So luckily a pretty easy palm to plant. It wasn't very big in the pot, obviously, so not a lot of dirt movement needed. One thing though I'm making sure is that I'm placing it a little above the surface to allow for good drainage. So when I'm done putting the dirt around it and making it feel nice and home, you'll see a small little mound at the base. And as you can tell, it rises nicely above, so it will get that sunlight, even though it still gets plenty being behind the greenhouse. If you want to take a view of it real quickly, see? It'll be just fine. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this all completed. Okay, so there's our mound that we were looking for, and as you can tell, the drainage will be nice for this palm. See, it already has a slight downslope already, but being on a mound will help with the drainage, and it's in a wind protected area, so for the first few years it can get its roots nice and attached to the under soil. So I'm very happy how this planting went. Another zoom in of the base. And one thing you don't want is to have the dirt be above the base. You don't want to have this palm be down in the soil and then create the mound. No, no, no. That's not good, because the roots inside here are going to begin to rot. So this is right where the palm starts and ends for its root system. So as you can tell, look at that. That's about as perfect a mound as they come, honestly. I still have a little more pounding to do around it. Just didn't make it nice and smooth, but for the most part, job well done.